because if you told your story to someone, they would say, oh, you came from humble beginnings, but you had absolutely everything that you needed. Yep. And then some. So like just having that support system has played a huge role in who you've come to be, as Jamal and as a man. And so as you're getting all this love from mom, from your sister, you're taking care of business in school. Mm-hmm. You're doing what you need to do. So to your point, you're not messing the bag up. High school comes around. Mm-hmm. What changes from early childhood, middle school, elementary to high school, if anything?
I can't say anything changed necessarily. No, that's not fair. Entitlement came in. Okay. And I felt like I was deserving of what I became more aware of the shit that I was doing and why I deserved. Yep. And that's where, so there was no more humility around it. There was no more surprise around it. There was expectation. And the understanding that it came easy, knowing that I was becoming more acutely aware of my intelligence and my abilities, and knowing that I didn't have to study to go and ace a test, but attendance is still a part of a grade. Right. Homework is still a part of a grade. Right. So kind of checking all the boxes in terms of like performance, but not checking any of the boxes in terms of accountability. Yep. That's what began to happen. And, I just began tricking off the dope. Like I was in Hunter, was doing, started off doing well, and then like realized that I could slack and would just have to go to Stuyvesant summer school, which was a cakewalk. It like a cakewalk, especially compared to the rigorous course load at Hunter. Right. And I was like, all right, fuck it. If I can get by. And I began trying to outsmart the system, which is the absolute downfall of anyone who fancies themselves intelligent. Yep. If you outsmart the system without first finding a way to make the system work for you, then you are doomed for failure. And so, I experienced, really for the first time, I experienced what felt like failure.
And what did that do to you?
Made me deathly afraid of my mother. To be quite honest, like getting kicked out of Hunter. Yep. And like seeing the hurt that caused, seeing the disappointment, not knowing that prior, like not kind of knowing that feeling.
Because you had never really encountered that from her.
No, the worst that happened was me throwing a tantrum about not being able to get a toy because she was tired. Yeah. Like she was exhausted. She worked long hours. She did after school programs. She taught college now. She was mentoring and chaperoning college tours, and she was still teaching. I had a report card that was perfect. The report card was semi-perfect. It was 98 as opposed to 100. Right. Like there was literally one A- in the midst of it. And I was like, all right, cool. I did this. Where's my reward?
The expectation.
That entitlement. Yep. Not realizing that everything that you've gotten up until now has been an absolute blessing. Yeah. And you should appreciate and regard it as such. Yeah. So that crept in, and so that wasn't disappointment though. That was, you're being a selfish kid. Yeah. Actually seeing disappointment and knowing that I squandered an opportunity. And in that moment, you can't really see past squandering that opportunity. Right. You just know, like, that's your brick wall. Right. And there is no seeing past it. It's just this insurmountable obstacle. Right. And you have to find some way. Right. And, in the way that few entities are faithful as God and as a mother's love. Yep. She's like, all right, so here's what we're going to do. She's like, you're not going to go to another high school because if you got bored at Hunter and you didn't do what, like if you were If you had room to fuck around at Hunter, you are going to find room to become an arch criminal anywhere else.
Right.
Because you're going to have nothing but time because you're going to be bored senseless. It's like, you'll get your GED, you'll go to college. And so this is 16. Sorry, this is 15 going into 16.
Wow.
I get my GED, and I am, 16, sorry. I get my GED, and I'm college bound.